Imagine making one of the largest money transfer using programs on earth, and another startup consultant pokes you in the middle of the street with a knife at 2 in the morning. This is the story of Bob Lee, the CASHAPP founder and chief technological officer at the company Square, which owns CASHAPP, that went from starting up from nothing and became a chief executive officer at one of the most powerful companies on earth, just to get stabbed in the streets of San Francisco, man. It brought up a lot of different imagery and a lot of different sayings from both sides of the aisle and like a lot of the usual suspects. Alright, but let's tap in. Make sure you check out the merch link in the description at staysaferworld.com. Man, let's get into it, man.
Arrested in connection to last week's deadly stabbing of a tech executive. Bob Lee's ex-wife just told KTVU the San Francisco police called her this morning, said they'd made an arrest. She gave us the man's name, the man who's been arrested, but at this point, San Francisco police have yet to say anything to us at all about these developments. They've not confirmed an arrest and have certainly not given a name. The ex-wife of Bob Lee says that this is, quote, the first step toward justice. You'll remember Lee was stabbed to death last week in the ring.
This all started in the neighborhood of Main Street at 2:30 a.m. on April 4th in a neighborhood of high-rise condominiums. Surveillance footage from the night of the killing, Mr. Lee can be seen staggering and clutching his side near a car in a darkened street around 2:30 a.m. on April 4th in a neighborhood of high-rise condominiums. Owner of an enterprise tech business in the East Bay city of Emeryville, Mr. Momeni was apprehended there after an intense investigation, which the authorities have warned from the onset that Mr. Lee may have been killed by someone he knew and not a random street crime. Mr. Momeni was booked on Thursday morning into San Francisco jail on a murder charge, according to jail records. The development on Thursday undermined a growing narrative from the killing, reflected a city where the professional class was being threatened by random attacks and flawed approaches to criminal justice. Basically, people were saying that, people were running around knifing people like Call of Duty or some shit, and that's the whole reason why, we are needing to go tougher on crime. But obviously, there was something going on in this situation that was more to be said, because why was that dude just out and just in general, man? And there's a lot of other questions that we had to have asked, man. Authorities said Mr. Lee, a father of two, had recently relocated to Miami after spending most of his career in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley. Had been in San Francisco on business when he was assaulted, and just in that time is when he got murked. So obviously it was someone that knew his schedule, and obviously it was not just some random person. The killing was generating waves of heightened tensions between the city and its tech sector at a precarious moment as San Francisco struggles to revive its downtown. People went even as far like Elon Musk, chief executive on Twitter and Tesla, and Michael Arrington, founder of the industry of blog TechCrunch, blaming Mr. Lee's death on the city. Basically, city officials saying that they need to put more emphasis on crime and shit, man, which was totally wrong. This is a wild-ass accusation without having any other evidence, and then they came out with evidence and it proved them basically wrong. But you definitely cannot go without focusing on the actual person at hand, Mr. Momeni. According to Mr. Momeni's name card, his business focuses on the management of computer services, cybersecurity, and general IT support. Mr. Lee was known by his friends and relatives as kind, brilliant man and generous mentor, but also as an energetic and social person with an ability to stay out late, even on weeknights. His online handle was Crazy Bob, a nickname he had earned while playing water polo in his youth. He had risen first as the chief technology officer of the payment company Square, which changed its name to Block in 2021, then at MobileCoin, a cryptocurrency startup based in San Francisco, where he was chief product officer at the time of his death. Colleagues said Mr. Lee had been instrumental in creating the mobile payment CASHAPP. Stabbing of Mr. Lee occurred in an upscale area of the city, a downtown quiet neighborhood that is popular with tech workers. The area is near downtown and not far from Google's office and the stadium that is home to the Giants' Oracle Park. Couple things definitely stick out when you look at this case. Number one, Lee and Momeni were portrayed by police as being familiar with one another. In the wee hours of April 4th, they were reportedly driving together through downtown San Francisco when a car registered to the suspect. Some manner of confrontation allegedly commenced while both men were in the vehicle and potentially continued after Lee exited the car. Police allege that Momeni stabbed Lee multiple times with a knife that was recovered not far from the spot on the 300 block of Main Street, to which officers initially responded, and then the dude dipped. And right now, they don't really even know where he is, man. It's such a crazy ass scene to really even describe that. That sounds like some movie shit. And it really made conservatives think that, hey, this was like San Francisco, this is crime, doing too much crime and stuff. We need to do less crime. Like Elon Musk coming out, when in reality, it was someone just like Elon Musk that actually went and did this shit. Someone else just in the business. It really is cutthroat out here, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about this, man. Real say shit. Peace.